Affirmations are for people who want to be, do, and have something different with their life, and they want to go from who they were to someone new, and they want to be able to have a better experience of life itself. Typically, the human experience before learning how to do affirmations and doing them properly is that we're just floating down the river of experience. We're basically just letting life push us around and create life for us instead of us creating life for us. So, in other words, we are at the unconscious effect of just whatever's going around, whatever's happening, whatever people are talking about. Instead, if we want a very specific outcome in the future, we want to really intend what that looks like. We have to first imagine it, visualize it, right? We have to intend it. We have to get very specific about what do I mean when I say that? What do I want to happen? How do I want to look 3 years from now? So Dan Sullivan has a great question. And it says this, Morris, if you and I were having this conversation, say 2 years from now, what would have to happen for you to have achieved your goals and for your life to look like you imagine and visualize it being at your highest and best self? Well, that's going to require change. And to require change, we have to intend going from point A to point B, from being someone we were in our past or even in the present moment to getting someplace in the future where we are different, where life is different for us. Either I'm in better shape, or I have more money, or I finally have the relationship I want, or I'm traveling more, or I live in a house instead of an apartment, or whatever it is that you want different for your life today. Maybe it's just self-confidence. So whatever it is, we have to visualize it, intend it, describe it in great detail, and see ourselves in present time in the future experiencing it. What that's doing is two things. First, we're creating new neurology. Every time you think a new thought, you're creating new neurology in your brain. In other words, you're literally making a new road and a new connection in your synapses in your brain. And once you be able to imagine it, you want to imagine it vividly. You want to imagine it with passion. You want to imagine it in real time as if you're there. So, for example, let's say that you want to imagine your 50th birthday and you're retired. Something wildly amazing, right? Like, wow, it's your 50th birthday. You just retired. You have plenty of funds. You have a great family. Everybody's there. You want to imagine that in radically crystal clear detail using all your senses: sight, smell, sound, touch, everything. Imagining yourself there, seeing the birthday cake, seeing your friends and family there. Maybe the people who you used to work with have come to celebrate your retirement and your birthday on the same day. And where are you? Well, we're by the lake in Zurich. We're, at a big picnic table. There's a tent or something, and there's a band playing. Whatever it is you imagine, the more you imagine with the more clarity, and then the more emotion, including all your senses, is what's going to help you create the affirmation for that. So the affirmation would be something very specific and verbal that you can say over and over again that cues your brain for that visualization and that stimulation.
Do I always have to imagine the same thing for the affirmations to work?
For affirmations to work, you don't have to imagine the same thing, but it's really helpful because what you want to do is you're training. It's sort of like training a dog. And I don't mean that we're dogs, but it's like training a dog. You're going to teach it to sit. Why? You don't say sit and roll over or roll over when you want it to sit. You say one thing when you want it to sit. You say one thing when you want it to stay. You say one thing when you want it to fetch. You train the dog simply at first so that it can follow your instructions. Your brain, your subconscious mind needs clear, concrete, visual, powerful, emotional instructions to get it right. You can have 4 or 5 different ones. First, you have the visualization of the party and the retirement. Then you have the visualization of, let's say you wanted to go to a Greek island for a month and just relax and go fishing. Then you have that visualization. You can have multiple visualizations and affirmations that lock them in, but you want to get one at a time and get it down clearly and concretely.
When a person learns how to do affirmations properly, how does their life change? How do they experience life differently?
So once you've realized how to do affirmations and the visualizations that are the second half of that properly and concretely, and you've actually put yourself through the 4 levels of learning how to do it, so it just becomes automatic for you, what happens is you begin to now take control of the car of your life, right? You're in the driver's seat. You're not in the back seat anymore as a passenger, just going wherever the Uber takes you. You are in the front seat. You're driving. You're deciding, where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? Who do I want to do it with? What's the experience I want? And then you can go create it. If it's within the realm of possibility and you're willing to do the work and the affirmations and the visualizations, then you can create whatever you want.
Does using affirmations make doing the work easier?
Absolutely. Imagine it this way. If you have your smartphone, right? And you go out into, let's say, Google Maps, and you say, I want to go from Zurich to, let's say, Freiburg. Now, you could just get out and walk all by yourself without the affirmations of Google Maps. However, Google Maps, as a way of mapping out what you want, it tells you where to go, what to do, and how to do it. And that's what you're telling your mind with the affirmation. You're telling it where to go, what to do, and how to do it so that you get there. If you don't, you're just like a wandering generality. Well, I'd like to retire at some point. I think I can do it, maybe 50. And then a week later, you've forgotten it. Why? Because your brain is constantly thinking 60, 70, 80,000 thoughts a day. It's not going to remember that one. You've got to lock it in with power and passion.
Let's say I want to play the piano every day, and I know that would improve my life, but I'm really struggling with motivation. How does affirmation help there? Do I imagine myself being motivated about playing the piano? Do I imagine a positive emotions towards the piano? How would that work?
All of those work. The key is this. I mean, if you really want to motivate it, put a lock on the fridge and make yourself play the piano before you can unlock the fridge and get food. That's really a big motivator because you want to eat. However, the real key here is to find out what do you feel like when you play the piano. If you're excited about it, if you love it, if you're passionate about it, the experience is one of joy, then you're going to learn how to play the piano. But if playing the piano was just like my grandmother's idea that I should be a piano player, and I think I should do it for their reasons, and I don't really know why I want to do it, then it's really not going to be a big motivator for me. We create affirmations to help us be, do, and have the things that we're truly passionate about. And because of that, the affirmations help us get from point A to point B, from wanting it to having it, or being it, or doing it. That's what affirmations do. If, on the other hand, we have something we don't really want to do, an affirmation isn't going to help. All it's going to do is make us miserable.
That's definitely the first time I hear that detail about affirmations. So what you're saying is we can't use affirmations to change our preferences. If there's something we don't like, we can't use affirmations to force us to like it.
Yeah, it's sort of saying, can we use affirmations to get something we don't want intentionally? And the fact of the matter is, that's like saying, can I get through a brick wall just by hitting it harder with my head? It's not going to work. However, if you really want it, you can use the affirmation to cut a doorway on the wall and then to walk through. So if you really want something, the affirmation will help you get it. If you really don't want it, all you're going to do is create more tension and more conflict in your own internal psyche.
What do we have to do every day to do affirmations properly? What is the shortest step-by-step process?
The shortest step-by-step process is to first figure out, what do I want and why do I want it, right? There has to be a reason why you want it. It's not just something random you pull out of a bucket and say, okay, I'm going to Turkey on vacation. No, you have to have a reason and a why and a passion for it. And if you really want it, then you write that down. What do I want? Why do I want it? What's it going to do for me to get this? So you're beginning to go internal. Then you need to write it out as a vision. When do you want it? Well, I want it in 2 years. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to go to Turkey on vacation for a month and sail along the coast of Turkey and go to all these wonderful villages along the way. So, passion, reason, why, specificity, make it concrete in the visualization. Then you're making a mental movie of it, and then you're speaking it out to what you want. I am now boarding the plane, British Airways, on my way to Istanbul, where I'm going to board a boat and I'm going to be on the boat. And I see myself now getting on the boat. I have the porters taking my luggage, and you make it a little mental movie, right? And that mental movie becomes your affirmation because you're going to shorten it down. April 28th, 2027 at 7 in the morning, I am landing in Istanbul and I'm going through security. I see myself doing this, and then I'm getting the porters picking me up and taking my luggage with my wife, and we're going down to the boat. That's an affirmation in a sense, right? Because you're creating a positive statement. Now you can make them even shorter. You can just say, April 27th, 2027, I'm on a boat with my wife and I'm having fun. I'm drinking a glass of beautiful, fresh squeezed Turkish orange juice. It's amazing, with some wonderful fresh baked bread and butter. And so this is my passion. This is my dream, and I will achieve it. And I am achieving it, and I'm there now. That kind of thing. Now, I just jumbled a bunch of pieces together, but the guide that we're going to give you has it completely in a list how to make it happen and how to do it. So download the guide, review it, practice it, watch this video. If you have any questions, just put some questions down below this video and I'll go ahead and answer them for you. But grab the guide, review it, and then let's make it happen for you.